Hi everyone, it's great to be back and I hope you've all enjoyed last week's rainforest talks. We had some absolutely fantastic homework sent in and I'm going to show you one of the homeworks that's completely finished in a minute. But first of all, we're going to just let you know what we're talking about. And today we're starting to look at the continent of Africa. Now, this could take us quite a while. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little snapshot into some of the species that you would find in and around the entire continent of Africa. So we won't have time to look at the entire African nation. There are so many countries and so many different animals that you would find there. But I'm sure you're going to like who we're going to introduce you to today. Now, first of all, we're just going to have a look at the Carroll family who have sent in their completed rainforest, which was our topic of last week. So if you have a look here, this is one of their giant cockroaches. So we introduced you to a cockroach on Friday, and Liam also talked to you about fungi, so they've included those two there. Liam also spoke to you about gorillas, and you would definitely find those on the forest floor. So the Carroll family have had a lovely addition of a gorilla. We've got some leafcutter ants here, which are really important to the rainforest. And then we've got also a carnivorous plant, which is a Rafflesia. Hope I've said that right. That's a brilliant addition. Well done, guys. And then there is the completed rainforest. So that is superb work. And guys, if you haven't yet had a look at our rainforest talk or the one that was previous to that, which was our classification talk, then have a look, search through our YouTube channel. It's never too late to have a look at these topics, and even if you don't want to share your homeworks, you can get cracking with some really creative things that we've tried to introduce you to through our live streaming. Now, also with regards to the live stream, if you guys have been really enjoying our topics and our live sessions, we would love you to share our channel with your family and friends. We'd love to get our subscriber number up. We're nearly on 100, but we would love to reach way more than that. So guys, just share, spread the word, share our channel with all your friends and family, get them watching. It doesn't have to be on the live, but on the live 11 o'clock sessions, but we would really love to be able to reach a lot more people than we are doing at the moment. Right, okay, so let's move on. And we're going to be having a look at, yes, you guessed it, homework. So here we go. We hope this is going to be, we're going to get you thinking and getting really creative. We're not going to have a weekly homework challenge this time. We're just going to set you something to do each day. So here we go. We're going to get you to write a fact file on any of the animals that we present to you each day. So we'd love you to produce something that is really colourful, fun and full of interesting facts about those animals or their habitat, or both. And so today we're going to be looking at keystone species and also at the very cute and adorable meerkats. So you can pick either to look at the meerkats or one of the creatures that I will mention, or in fact you can do everything. It's up to you. The world is your oyster. So keystone species, what do I mean by keystone species? Well, these animals and plants are really, really integral to ecosystems. In fact, they underpin an entire ecosystem, and without these species, the world will look a very different place. So, for example, we have things like bison. Now, you'd find these on the Great Plains, and they help to keep the grazing pasture land as it is. Basically, they are grazers themselves. They're walking around, eating and walking and eating and walking like a cow would do. And their hooves actually help to aerate the soil as they're moving around. They're quite heavy creatures. And so this in turn helps to maintain the soil to the point where it can aid plant growth, and also helps with seed dispersal of native plants. So the bison, without them, the Great Plains would be a very different place. So they're helping a lot of different creatures that live in the Great Plains. Another really good example is, and quite a famous one, is the sea otters. Now, sea otters predate, which means they eat, sea urchins. And sea urchins, if they weren't controlled by the sea otters, they would actually destroy the kelp forests that actually help with lots of animals with their hiding, with finding food. Kelp forests are immense, and these sea urchins would definitely destroy these kelp forests if they were if they weren't around, if the otters weren't eating these sea urchins. So the sea otters are really, really important to the nearshore habitat where they live. And then we have someone that is very iconic. And let's see if we've got a picture here. And that is the African elephant. Now, you find those on the savannah. And African elephants are my favourite creature, actually. And they are obviously a really big animal and have a massive impact on where they live, but in a good way. So they are quite destructive animals. They walk around eating shrubs. They destroy trees by uprooting them, pushing them over. And this might look really destructive, and you think, well, okay, that's not a good thing. But actually, they help with the population of trees in the savannah. And without the elephants, the savannah would turn into a woodland quite fairly quickly, and the creatures that live in the savannah would not be able to survive in a woodland type environment. So elephants really are quite an important species. Another really important species is actually a plant, and this would be found in the Kalahari Desert. And the plant that I'm talking about is the Acacia aeroloba. I've got a slide here, sorry. Let's just move that across and you can see what I'm talking about. The Acacia aeroloba is actually a really important tree that is found in the Kalahari, and it competes for water with another plant that's an invader, and that's called let me get this right, prosopis prosopis plant. It's like a little shrub, and they compete for water, and obviously the acacia tree, without that, the prosopis plant would actually take over. And the Acacia aeroloba tree is really, really important to a lot of different animals because it provides shelter, shade. It's a great lookout point for different animals. It gives lots of opportunity for birds to nest, and it's just a really important and a stunning tree, but really important to the savannah. So I brought that up because we are looking at the Kalahari Desert, because I have a very cheeky young man to introduce you to right here. Let me just click this, and that is my little Kimber. Oh, I haven't changed my slide. It's not a hissing cockroach. It's Chimba, and he is a meerkat. Isn't he beautiful? Hello, Chimba. So Chimba here is a slender-tailed meerkat who's going to eat some lovely, delicious breakfast. Now, his breakfast consists of mealworms, and I've given him a few little cat biscuits as well, just to keep him going. as a treat. But these are insectivores, so they would eat lots of different types of insect in the wild. And everyone will probably think about meerkats and scorpions. They're quite famous for eating scorpions, and that's mainly because they have immunity against the sting in their tail, in the scorpion's tail. And they don't always eat scorpions because they won't always find them. But when they do find a scorpion, they eat that up pretty quickly because it's like finding a lovely big bar of chocolate to us. So it's a real lovely treat for them. And scorpions are quite big and juicy. Now, meerkats, because they live in the Kalahari, it's actually a desert, quite barren, and not a lot of water around. So you don't tend to find meerkats drinking too much, because in the wilds they would have a lot of their water content from their diet. Bugs are quite nice and juicy, so they would get lots of water from their bugs, and also they will eat plants as well. So you could say that a meerkat is actually technically omnivorous, because they'll eat plants and they'll also eat a little bit of meat as well. So they will catch things like rodents, they'll eat birds' eggs, they might eat small reptiles. So there's a lot of variety in a meerkat's diet. Now, if Chimba puts his little head up, you might be able to see he has some little black eyes. Now, this black mask on his face is actually the equivalent of us wearing sunglasses, and these help protect his eyes against the glare of the sun in Africa. Their eyesight is immense. They absolutely need to have amazing eyesight because they are only little small creatures, as you can see, and they will be someone else's dinner. So have one more mouthful. There we go. Okay, I know. So let's show everybody your eyes. There we go. So having good eyesight means that they can look out for predators, and they can keep each other safe. They live in a group of around 30 different individuals, and you dropped a few new ones on my knee. And they're all a family group, so they're quite altruistic. They look after each other just like us humans, and what they like to do is forage for food. They're all about food, but if you look where their eyes are forwards facing. So when they're looking for food, they're looking down, and they can't actually look for danger. So they have one meerkat that will stand on their back legs quite high, maybe in one of those acacia trees, and looking out for danger. And danger can come from above or from below. It can be a bird of prey, it could be a jackal, it could be a snake. There's all sorts of animals that might want to eat a little meerkat. So when they see danger, they will actually give a warning call, and they use something very similar to our language. They have lots of different little calls that they use, and this is all about talking to each other so they know what's going on. So if there's, let's say, an aerial attack, so a bird of prey flying over, this little guy here would say bird of prey or aerial attack or something to mean that there's something in the sky that's of danger. And all the meerkats would understand the call, and they would all run and hide in their burrows because they can't escape from a bird of prey. And so they find safety in underground. So when if there was a snake, for example, then they would all form a circle around the snake, and they would see the snake off because they want the snake to be gone. The snake can follow them down into their burrows, and they would not be able to escape from a snake underground. So they're trying to get rid of the snake. So they work together as a team. And actually, it works the same way as with a jackal. They want to get rid of the jackal from from their home. So they all work together and as a team and surround the jackal, and they will see off this jackal by looking very big and scary. They do just like cats do. They puff up their fur, their tails stand up on end, and they make lots of noises and jump towards the jackal. And if you imagine 30 meerkats all doing this around a jackal, that jackal's going to disappear pretty quickly. Hey, you little cheeky, can you hear him talking? So they make lots of different noises. So vocabulary is very important to them. In meerkat language is very, very important. They give themselves names so that they can tell each other what they're doing, where they're doing it, and they can keep themselves all together safe. There is an alpha male and an alpha female that sit at the top of the group, and they're the ones who tell everyone else what to do and keep order in the group. And then there's, yeah, no, you want to go back to your friends. Little friends are behind him. Or do you want some more food? Let's do some more food. Here we go. Here we go. Right, I'll keep you busy, won't it? There we go. And if you can see the patterns on his back, these patterns are actually camouflage. So they help hide the meerkats when they're out on the savannah looking for food, and they're really, really good at keeping low to the ground and hiding in amongst the grasses and the rocks and the trees. So they're very hard to spot. If you can see as well, let's see if he'll show you his claws. He's not going to show you at the moment. He's got some really nice long claws, which are used for digging. These are expert diggers, these little creatures, and they really can move a lot of soil in quite a short space of time. So they love to always update and create new burrows, and they spend quite a lot of the night underground where they actually keep warm, because in the desert it does get really cold at night. So they all snuggle down in their burrows. All there's a big pile of meerkats. They like to snuggle up together and keep each other warm and safe, and they feel nice and safe underground at night. Don't you? Is that nice? Okay, one more. That's it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pop Chimba back, and if you want to meet our meerkats, we actually do meerkat experiences, which will happen once again when we're able to open our doors. So pop onto our website if you want to have a look at that, and you can meet the meerkats for yourself and have a little snuggle. Okay, right, let's pop you back. Boy. There we go. Just for a minute. There's a good boy. Okay. Right. Okay. So let's see what we've got. So we'll have a little recap. So today we had a little look at keystone species and why they're really important. We had a look at Chimba, the meerkat, and all his features. Your homework for today is to write a fact file on a meerkat, or you could pick an elephant, or you could pick one of those other keystone species that I spoke about, or do them all, up to you. And we'll obviously show all your homeworks tomorrow, so send them in, post them onto our Facebook page, which here's the link below. And we can't wait to see what you guys produce. And then we have some special thanks because these following people, Leslie, Zelda, Lynn, Ruth, Deeble, and an anonymous pledge, have all given us money on our crowdfunder campaign, which is absolutely awesome. Thank you, guys. So we have still got the crowdfunder campaign going, and I think there's probably about 15 days left. We're not quite at our target, so guys, don't forget we're doing these sessions for free. We would usually go into schools and teach you lovely lot in the classroom. and we're not able to do that because of the pandemic. So we want to give something back to you guys while we're all stuck at home, and so we're doing these free live sessions, but it means we have no income. So if you have any spare change at all that you are able to donate to us to keep us going until we're able to open our doors again, we would be absolutely bowled over by that. So you've been so generous so far, and we'd like to really thank you guys. We have PayPal as well if you don't want to use Crowdfunder, and the link is just my email address at the bottom. So that's me done for today. Tomorrow you have Stacey, and she's going to be showing you one of our gentle giants. You're going to meet one of our sulcata tortoises. They're only babies, so they're very cute, but they will grow into something quite impressive. So tune in tomorrow to learn all about those. Until then, we'll see you. Bye.